Wingardium's Leviosa. I know that's not how that works, but I wanted to try it. Guardians of the Galaxy 3, is it good? Yes, but I had to watch it twice to really get a feel for how I felt about it. Let's talk about it. So, if you like the Guardians of the Galaxy movies, if you like James Gunn, you will probably like this movie. Okay. This, I would say, is definitely one of the higher bar Marvel films out there. So, there you go. The villain's fantastic. Seeing all these characters again, fantastic. The combat scenes, awesome. Especially one in particular, amazing. They're they're pulling at the heartstrings and getting you to care about these characters there too. This story is primarily a Rocket Raccoon story, but it's also kind of an everybody story. I would say it's Rocket Raccoon, and then it's Star Lord and Gamora, and then it's everybody else. But it doesn't feel like anybody's too focused on. It bounces around quite a bit. James Gunn has a really awesome talent for being able to give each of the characters just enough of the light, just enough for each of them to shine. Okay, so what's this movie about? Without ruining too much, uh, somebody really wants Rocket Raccoon, really wants him bad, sending all kind of people to get him, and the team has to do what they can to help their friend. That's oh man, I did that pretty good. It's a personal movie. I think that's one reason why I've had a hard time gathering my thoughts around it. Is it doesn't have the same kind of grandioseness as the other two films had. Uh, with Ronin, right? It was more about the destruction of the universe, right? Or rather, half he was working for Thanos, and then with Ego, it was about the destruction of Earth and other planets. There was a sense that they were saving people on a grander scale. This film is very personal, and yes, there's a lot of grandioseness and destruction about it, but this main villain doesn't have the same motivations. He's basically an a-hole mad scientist. So it might not have that same kind of weight you would feel from the other two, but I think that's because this movie is more focused on the characters and their growth and not on a giant superhero situation, which again, they fit all of that quite well within the movie as well. Every character in this movie has some kind of growth going on. It's special to see. And in case you're wondering, the chemistry between all of them is still fantastic. This is why this is my favorite Guardians of the Galaxy movie because the chemistry is so well established at this point. It feels like home, especially when they get into combat situations together. The teamwork, oh my gosh, chef's kiss. I honestly I cannot wait to see what they do next with these characters. I would give this movie. I feel like I have to give it an 8 out of 10. I can't give it any higher, and I can't give it any lower. I don't think that would do it justice. Okay, now get out. I'm gonna talk spoilers now. If you want to hear them, let's go for it. Let's do it. Okay, spoilers, spoilers, spoilers. Okay, here we go. Uh, I didn't realize this was gonna be a breaking up the band film. When I first saw it, I was disappointed, but it was also it made sense. I like the growth of everybody here. I'm excited to see what Peter Quill does with his grandfather. That sounds awesome. I'm excited to see what Mantis does with those obelisk things. It's super cool. I can't wait to see what Drax and Nebula do with those kids. They seem like they'd be an awesome mother and father duo. I love it. I can't wait. I can't wait to see what Rocket Raccoon does with his new Guardians of the Galaxy, especially Adam Warlock. I feel like that guy was underutilized. I really liked his character, and I really hope they use him more in the MCU. He's gonna be fun. And in case you're wondering what's going on with Groot and Kraglin and Cosmo, well, they're with Rocket too, so don't worry. It's a fun growth film. I really love the Gamora and Star Lord angle. How he misses his woman, right? The woman of his dreams, the love of his life, and he sees her, but it's not her because she's not the same woman. She doesn't have the same memories. I'll give you guys a story. My mom had a friend. who she was married and had kids or something like that. And one day she woke up and she lost the memory of like some odd years of her life, basically forgetting she had a family and a husband and kids. No joke. I don't know all the details, but it sounded incredibly hard. Could you imagine? Could you imagine if your husband and wife of however long just forgot everything? Oh man, having to come to terms with, especially if she doesn't want to be your woman, right? Having to come to terms with looking at this woman and realizing that you have lost your woman forever. And it's different for her because she didn't lose her memories. She is a younger version of herself. She never had those memories. I love that angle of him having to come to terms with understanding that is no longer my Gamora. I understand that. Actually, um, it's a tragic lesson, but it's also a very sobering one. Getting used to change, impermanence, having to learn to swim. I love it. Anyways, and of course, you're gonna hate the main bad guy for what he did to Rocket and his friends. You're gonna hate. That's an easy slam dunk. You are not going to like him at all. At the same time, though, he's got a certain kind of humorous, a-holish charisma about him. He's a fun guy to love to hate. Oh, and of course, the music selections are fantastic. I think that's perhaps one of my only problems with the movie is I know that that music device is a very integral part of Peter Quill and the Guardians of the Galaxy in these movies, but I felt like they focused a little bit too much on that in this movie, especially with the Florence and the Machine song at the end. I love that song, but it just didn't feel like it really fit in there. But as I digress, still a fun film. Check this out. Let me know what you think, and I'll talk to you later.